Palestine, you have the floor.
شكرا. السيد الرئيس.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen, at the outset, I would like to congratulate you on your election as chair of this commission. I would also like to congratulate the Bureau members and wish them every success. It gives me pleasure to speak before you today and to speak to you of Palestinian women, their issues and their aspirations for a better future that would provide them with security and safety and enable them to participate in building their homeland at all levels in a state of Palestine that is free from violence and where democracy, social justice, full equality and genuine partnership between men and women prevailed. Here, allow me to express on my behalf and on behalf of Palestinian women to express our profound gratitude to all sisterly and friendly countries for their firm stand by Palestine and its just cause by voting in favor of Resolution 67/19, granting Palestine a non-member observer state status in the United Nations. We also like to thank His Excellency Mr. Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General of the United Nations, for his report on the situation of and assistance to Palestinian women. We also thank him for his support to the Palestinian people and the right to self-determination and the achievement of the independence of their state with East Jerusalem as its capital. Ladies and gentlemen, violence is a global phenomenon, and despite all efforts and attempts by United Nations and regional and national bodies around the world, this phenomenon persists. As field studies and research conducted by government and private institutions indicates that at least 1 out of 3 women is subjected to violence either by beating, coercion, or humiliation every day of her life. In this regard, the WHO has stated that approximately 70% of homicide victims were women who were murdered at the hands of their male partners. Women are still subjected to disgraceful violence and threats by men against their lives and existence as human beings with dignity and freedom, whether at home or at work or in terms of political and economic participation in society. Therefore, there are difficulties that continue to impede women's strong involvement in various decision-making spheres. Because of this, work began in the 1980s to eliminate the phenomenon of violence. The Third World Conference on Women was held in Nairobi in 1985, and through the Beijing Declaration in 1995, all of these efforts aimed at taking a stand against this global phenomenon which women suffer from and which has become an obstacle to genuine, sustainable development, and which constitutes a flagrant violation of the most basic human rights. Palestinian women, like other women, suffer from social violence, be it at the level of the family or work or from laws that they are subjected to, as confirmed by Palestinian statistics. However, there is a more harsh and severe form of violence that they are subjected to, and it comes in the form of the Israeli occupation, which affects all aspects of Palestinian life and all segments of the people, be they women, men, elderly, or children. This occupation inflicts on them a systematic policy of racial violence without international monitoring or law or deterrent. The Israeli occupation kills, arrests, assaults, destroys homes and evicts their inhabitants, builds walls and checkpoints and confiscates lands, all in violation of international conventions and human rights, thus considering itself above the law. Moreover, it must be underscored that the serious political consequences within the context of the Palestinian question as a result of the policies and practices of the Israeli occupying forces, including efforts to Judaize occupied East Jerusalem and obstruct it from becoming the capital of the state of Palestine, to expel its inhabitants, including the demolition of houses for the hordes of settlers who wreak havoc on the land, and many other systemic racist policies which are being borne Palestinian women. We can't forget the blockade imposed by the Israeli occupation against the Gaza Strip, because this oppressive and unjust siege is affecting the life of our entire people, children, women, elderly, and men. This blockade is an obstacle to progress and prosperity and obstructs efforts to rebuild what has been destroyed by the Israeli war machine and its internationally banned bombs. Throughout their long history, Palestinian women have proven their resilience and strength in their homeland, despite their subjugation to continuous Israeli violations. Women's institutions continue their quest to advance their rights and their freedom to live in dignity. Here, and in order to provide safety and security for Palestinian women, the Ministry of Women's Affairs, in partnership with community and women organizations, has issued ministerial decisions that would reduce the rate of violence against women, which include the establishment of the Supreme National Committee for the Elimination of Violence, the ratification of the strategic plan.
Affairs of the State of Palestine for her statement.